Despite a few key nerfs earlier this season, Feral is still performing quite well in the bracket thanks to their incredible consistent damage. With that said, Feral is still a little brother to Assassination Rogue and easily gets bullied in the head-to-head. Outside of this, Feral still has a good matchup spread against the rest of the bracket and is easily one of the best specs. Next up, we have a few Windwalker Monk comps. Just like some of the other melee on this list, Windwalker pretty much works with any healer, but Resto Druid and Fistweaver are likely the best overall options. As always, Windwalker Monk relies heavily on its elusiveness in some 2v2 matchups, and instead of brawling toe-to-toe with other melee, it often needs to play first battalion of Mending Bandit the best. Clockwork and Survival.
Indeed.
I hope your shoulders are broad enough for 4 sacks of flour, because let's get the craft. You will be carrying your teammates.
Strangely drawn to this odd configuration of activity. I go at will.
Słuchasz teraz?
Ty nie słuchasz? Słuchasz, Joki?
My move. With alacrity.
Słuchasz teraz na mikrofon?
Да, ты слушаешь.
My turn. In pursuit.
Denied!
Commendable notion. Don't go. After them. A metamorphosis. Fair game. They deserve no less. I proceed. Stay and amuse me. I venture forth. Destroy. I have much to. I am under attack. They shall regret this. Attack! After them.
'Tis not for thee.
I raise up. It matters not to me.
Come on, Martin.
Just so. Exactly so. Here I am. I have much to impart. Puck out. Huh? They deserve no. Attack! Indeed. Very well. In pursuit. My move. Behold! Don't run! We are in accord. With alacrity. A welcome transformation. Exactly so. Just so. Commendable notion. I venture forth. I go at silence. Very nice. They shall regret this. Absolutely.
Might want to haul. Look, Greg called the cops, and I'm gonna have to handle this.
I am I'm up. We are in accord. Indeed. Don't mind me. With
Hello.
Hello. Mare, games da gauma pak pe rakhste de.
Fuck.
Bottom tower's under attack there.
Just so.
Are you letting them do this?
Gade vade batne
I mean, if this is
bole
an
kasta
insurance
me
scheme, say no more. I
pajne
can
me
keep my
zan
mouth
escape ko.
Commendable
Khode khabar
notion.
sage. Fuck. Complex se lag guru bala hero.
I venture forth.
Initiation de par blink bijodo okay.
Very well. With alacrity. Stay and amuse me. My move. I am not ready.
That's a double kill.
Sangi kum game kabe.
माँ और का बोला को यार 2K
If
डेर
you
जा
top
कौन
tower,
कहीं
I'm only asking because
Allah
it's
che po
being
4 ke
destroyed.
ule biya gora.
4K माना दाम डेर ज़्याद डिफरेंट है यही
4 ke over hai double. यार ज गेम ule ko bari raho wasi rata ka. That is the 4 ke 144 ke bas one.
Hey,
Dekha ta
your top tower's under attack.
I go at will.
It is pretty fun destroying towers. Your opponents must be having the best time. The middle tower might need a little attention.
Fair
Let's see
game.
how this plays out.
तो सब तो सोच के
Very stupid trap.
4 ke tha. 4 ke 144 hertz.
दामा तो है that सुमरा games जोड़ी क्यों ना that all games the هغه ولا support ته پاره
Sushi support se ho raha
لکه دې کې دا 4K او دا ټول support دي
Very well.
zyada nanve game lo ke auto lo ke
I proceed. I venture forth. We are in accord. Greetings!
د نوې ګیمونو کې هو زیاتره په ټولو کې 4K سپورټ وي اوس داسې نوې بالکل داسې ګیم راشي که نه وختینی ګیم راوچت کې اوس واو دی 16 سال وختینی ګیم د 4K سپورټ شته دی
یا ته خو په دې ځان پوهوم چې دا څنګه چې 16 کال زوړ گیم 4K سپورټ څنګه علي
Strength out of season.
نه لکه 4K
The middle tower's taking a beating.
Absolutely.
دا خو نه دی چې اوس بس چېرته پکې اپډیټ نه دی راغلی دومره اپډیټس پکې راځي
Less
بیا خو
larva.
صحیح او لکه زما گیم شروع شو منټ صبر وکړه
Indeed.
Might want to look into your bottom
After
tower.
them.
Bottom tower just bit the brick biscuit.
Just so.
Uh-oh. Dyer's
Commendable
fortified their
notion.
structures.
Behold! I proceed.
Good stuff. Their middle tower's a sad pile of gravel. The bottom
I
tower's
go
under
at
attack
her.
there. Wow, that thing can really soak up some plasma. Might want to look into your bottom tower. How does it have anything to do with defending English?
Yes,
That is a double kill. Look at him go.
I venture forth. I excite. In pursuit. My move. Greetings. Sight. Destroy. Ah! My turn.
Double kill.
Grievous misunderstanding.
Your middle tower's taking a beating.
सॉम गेम में दे टर्बो गेम्स काउंट किएगी पे के
सके
Fresh from death's
hero
pursuit.
stats
The middle tower might need a little attention.
ना
They say history is written by the victors, so you might save yourself a
With
writing
alacrity.
assignment here. Your middle tower is now past tense. You are unstoppable.
We are
Look
in
at this.
a
Are you
war.
serious?
Greetings. Exactly so. Fair game.
Great, their bottom tower's all busted up. Ah, kill spree. Okay, you go. Yes, that is a double kill. Limbs, blood spraying everywhere.
Transformation.
It's adorable.
Very well. Exactly so. They're in sight. They shall regret this. Strength out of season. I go at will. They deserve no less. My move.
You down there, you are dominating right now.
Beyond sight. I raise my game. We are in accord. I proceed. I venture forth. Indeed. I have much to impart. Don't run! Absolutely. With alacrity.
ما سفدي تاركاف كلا سامان ډیر شو
Just so.
75 امو ولا ټوپک مې اوس یو فیکټري ډیر ورکوټ زه دی پشمار
Commendable
پلس کمرې
motion.
دي یو مې ومړ کو هغه څه نه و چې لیبل شاټګن سر راښکاره کو ډز به کو بیا به ځان پټو نو ته ریپورټ ونیو
Near. Just so.
دومره فن یو سر راښکاره کو سر ته وته
I proceed.
څنګه یار دا گیم ما دې پر ډېر مزه کوي
Indeed.
نه مطلب رو مې باسي ډایرکټ
Stay and amuse me.
ما اصل کې سٹارټ کې لغون دي دي سره کړه و چې بل چا سره نه ګرانی د سیز د کول
Not yet. After them. Less long.
Structures, that's no good for us.
Absolutely.
انټرنیټ
او ساس پینګ زیات دی
دا مارو ورځي
Oh, they just denied their top tower.
او کنه 160 نه زیات
I
شي
think
بیا
we all
وباسي بیا
underestimated them.
Much to
I mean,
impart.
look at them. How could you not?
Destroy. I go at will. Fair game. commendable notion. Behold! Silence! Stay and amuse me. I'm out! Greetings! Attack! Silence! My turn. My move. I venture forth. With alacrity. I go at will. They deserve no less. I am under attack.
It was a double kill.
मल्टी हीरो आम्ही वो सोडता भाई ड्रीम कोयल लेकिन मैं तो पोइदल जैसे मैं बकेगा
The middle tower's taking a beating. Look at those structures. 245. Your middle tower might need a little attention.
Nothing like the feel of a fresh molt. Exactly so.
Bottom tower is no longer tip top.
I
It's just,
proceed.
well, it's just tipped.
We are in a Indeed.
They are on a double kill.
I venture forth. With alacrity. Just so. Greetings, silence. My move.
Kill spree. Seeing it, I wouldn't believe it. Middle tower might be. My eyes are liars. You people know that you think the tower being attacked doesn't probably attack. Middle barrack. But you people need to handle this. You have a pile and I mean yesterday. Bad news.
Very well.
It used to be your fortified
I am under attack.
Hey, I want to defend your middle barracks. Middle barracks gone, destroyed. Your barracks is gone. I mean, come on. A poem by Cave Johnson.
खबर है देखो लचेस 75 टपक से वो उड़लता
اورګه کسان مړ مکل مالو خندار اله پسټل می وړای د درې می مړکل
With alacrity.
او مای ګاډ دومره فنی ښه
I proceed.
پسټل می وړایو د 21 ګولې وراسه ټوټل
So.
ಕಾಸ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ
Don't run.
ಆಗನ ಮೇ
Greg, that there is dominating.
ಗೋಲ್ಯಾರ ಅವಾಗಸ್ತ ಟೋಪಕ್ ನಿಂತರ ಅವಾಗಸ್ತು ಆಗ ಬಂದು ಬೇ ಬಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ ಬೇ ಮಗನ ಟೋಪಕ್ ಅವಾಗಸ್ತು ಬೇ ಮಗ ಬಂದು ಬಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ
दाहो प्रो है
Absolutely.
ವಾಟ್ ದ ಫಕ್ ډیر زیات خو ده
I go at
Punch a wall. Bottom tower's
Wow.
under attack there. Hey, you really need to handle this. And good news if you hated your bottom tower. Great news, in fact.
देखिए Tolan is important
Do you
Here's
think
the
your top
goal,
tower? I'm only asking because it's being destroyed.
हर टोपक की शपक किस्म गोले लगी
Hey, your top tower's under attack.
लेवल 37
Top
का
tower's
wow.
down. It's just one tower. You know, in the grand scheme of things, it's wow, it's still incredible. You are unstoppable. Full stop. Don't actually stop.
meet the prevailing winds. Not expected to be reborn for another million years. We are in a forge.
Your top tower is gone to be with the big brick. Triple kill. I'm losing count. Are we up to ultra kill here? All right, bottom tower's down. You know what? Let them have it. We got bigger fish to fry. Ultra. You let them take out your bottom barracks. Yeah, they just deep six to your top barracks. Your middle tower might need a little attention. All right, middle tower's down. Cut down in the prime of its tower life. How do you like your middle tower? Taken I hope you like it destroyed, because it is. Every tower that was well defended, raise your hand. When it rains and pours so fast, we got mega towers.
Tragedy.
खत्म शो
అవును
वाह
टर्बो 0-10 में वो 0-10 ډېر زر گیم فایند شي ښه خبره ده
Who are you going to ban? Oh, how about that one? 5 seconds. I've heard things about that one. Ten seconds. We're starting in 5 seconds, with or without you.
Can I have a word, please, Your Honor?
10 seconds.
के नजर आ ले बके
Puck.
मिरर का सुपर
My
स्टार्ट के
move.
पक पर स्टार्ट की हुई है फक यार फक
You ready? You don't look ready.
So,
Well, we're starting, so
गड
get
गेम
ready.
तरालू फक
indeed.
Juggernaut 5 गेम उन्हें सक्सेसफुली प्रेडिक्टेड
دا پک کني ما دومره ډوټه کړې ده کنه او دا پک مانه نه کیږي
دا ډېر زه ګورم چې دا کې بیسیک
Thanks.
ټول سي
Indeed.
دا هغه دی کنه ډیپند کوي دو بیلډز دي خو زیات تر میجیکلی
यार राइट क्लिक बिल्ड सेवा नहीं पके
رائټ کلیک روسته کیږي او
मतलब 10
Start
बिल्ड
के ना।
विच ब्लेड पे पके वाला खलेगा ना नो तो वर्षे कस पगा एबिलिटी बंदे हुआ है वेना बस विच ब्लेड बंदे चे राइट क्लिक हम कोले शे
You've trained hard to be here. Real hard.
see.
I've
ता
seen
एबिलिटी
it.
ऐसे
Now
डैमेज
watch
डेल
me
गए और
see.
साइलेंस तो
It's
लोग
all
गए
about ball.
Ah, gambits and exploits await. Here I am. Greetings. Absolutely.
हरेसमेंट में उस रोग को लग
Commendable notion.
पे उड़ते को
Fair game. Behold! Stupid nit. Huh? In pursuit. With alacrity. I raise my game. Exactly so. Behold! After them! For
Might want to
me,
look into your bottom tower. And happen eventually. First blood, everybody.
First blood. It was ours all along.
we are in accord. I go at will. I am under attack. Here I am. It's more fun. Just I'm up. Your actions are without merit. Very well. Just so. Greetings. They shall regret this. Strength out of season. I venture forth. Absolutely. With alacrity.
Now shall the battle turn.
Ah! I proceed. Ah! I have much to impart. Amid summer night.
स्क्विशी दे डेर सेवा इंतहा स्क्विशी दे
خو کنه نو هغه سکوشي د وجه خو تا ته سایلنسر دی او پټیږي دې کې اصل کې 1v1 باندې کې دې کې مطلب بس سیټ نه گیم کې هر څه پکې خو د څه باندې کې چاغم تعالی هټ سر کې تم هټ سر کې
Indeed.
هغه نه کېږي
روز ته بیا مې بیوشي خو سٹارټ کې خو بيخي نه کېږي
Stay and amuse me. I go at will. A metamorphosis, my move. in accord. Exactly so. Destroy. I am under attack. Commendable notion.
Never set limits for yourself. I never set out to kill a Titan, but I never
Absolutely.
either.
غير farming combo da per ability man deda.
Don't run. They deserve no less. Behold! Elevation. I go at will. Very well. After them. Just so. Indeed. My move. With alacrity. Exactly so. Fair game. We are in accord. I proceed.
Allies disappear.
Commendable notion. Destroy. Stay and amuse me. I venture forth.
Silence.
Absolutely. My move.
Invisibility.
Here I am. I proceed.
Stun ko me kani zan me gaib ko.
We are in accord. Attack!
The bottom tower's under attack there. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't like your odds. Bottom tower just hit the brick biscuit.
They shall regret this.
Killing spree, killing spree, killing spree.
I
Might want to
venture
haul ass
forth.
over to your top tower.
Behold! Indeed.
The prize is mine.
With alacrity.
Hey, what you are doing, Coil?
In pursuit. I have much to impart. Less larva, more commendable notion.
The middle tower's taking a beating.
They deserve no less.
What's that, Greg? Oh, why, they'd have to be on some kind of killing spree to
Very
get those
well.
numbers.
Exactly so. My turn. I go at will. Stay near. Absolutely. Here I am. Look out. I go at will.
Top tower's under attack, and the nails are just filthy. Top tower's insurance scheme say no more. You know what? This is dumb. I want to look at your bottom tower.
Perfect team.
Stay focused. I wouldn't just ignore this. You got to show these idiots who's boss, or they'll never stop bullying that poor tower.
Turn about is fair. After them!
Kill spree. Triple kill.
Indeed. Commendable notion.
Yeah, hey, loot it. There is a lot here. Come here.
They shall regret this.
Mine at last.
You need your top tower? I'm only asking because it's being destroyed.
We are in accord. Attack! Behold! I proceed. Very well. Destroy! Around!
Vanish.
I'm silent!
Killing spree, killing spree, killing spree.
With alacrity. My turn.
Greg, you looking at that? Is that a double kill? Hold on. And, yep, check out. That was a double kill. Middle tower's taking a beating.
My move.
I wouldn't sweat it. These things are built to take a lot of punishment. Well, maybe not that much.
Just so.
Double kill.
Exactly so. Absolutely.
GG.
Я раздражительный, немножко бесит.
Son of a... My move. Stay and amuse me.
What army?
We are in accord.
Your middle tower might need a little attention. Middle tower.
Can you not hit my farm, motherfucker?
Badly ignored, badly protected. Goodbye, middle tower. I didn't want to say it, but that was my favorite tower.
Elevation. Alacrity.
And can you shut up?
I proceed.
Your bottom tower is under attack there.
खशोर गया है EU lobby में join दे.
Commendable notion.
Good.
Just so.
I'll take
I
that.
venture forth. Very well.
टाइटल और अब से नखते दे मतलब
Sorry.
फॉलो कई में
Indeed.
AFK दे
Indeed. Exactly so. Greetings. I
Top
go
is
at will.
missing.
My move. Behold! I proceed. With alacrity. Oh? Look out! Here I am! Silence! We are in accord. Greetings! Very well. I venture forth.
Shadows, take us.
Absolutely. Ah!
Mare, de improvisante, Juggernaut was
Your middle tower might need a little attention. Hey, your top tower's under attack.
I am done.
I'd get over there if I was you.
Imponderable. Fair game.
Middle tower's taking a beating. I wouldn't worry about it though, it's not so... that was pretty bad.
Just as well.
Might want to look into your bottom tower.
That was an exceedingly odd.
They say history is written by the victors, so you might save yourself a writing assignment here.
With alacrity. A prize. I raise my game.
Ha! That is a mega kill. The middle tower's taking a beating.
A metamorphosis.
I mean, I'm no expert, but yeah, that's coming down.
In pursuit.
Middle tower's on a killing spree. Your middle tower's taking a beating. Don't
All
like
right,
your
middle
odds
tower's
here. Down. All right, walk it off. We're still in this.
From death, chrysalis. I proceed.
Might want to look into your bottom tower.
Nice.
I venture forth.
All right, bottom tower's down. I know you'll miss it. That tower was a part of you, but we want you to go on.
Destroy. I go at will. Less larva, more nymph. Attack!
Bottom tower's under attack there. Oof. Oh, this is gruesome. I mean, you have to feel
Just
some kind of
so.
responsibility for this, right?
Behold that! Exactly so. We are in accord.
Hello. हाँ
Strength out of season.
Invisibility.
Very nice.
Their top tower is down.
My move. Indeed.
You can kill Juggernaut, guys.
Commendable notion.
Come.
I proceed.
Nice.
Ingratitude.
Your middle tower
Nice.
might need a little attention.
ما هو تاركاف لقولي.
They deserve no less.
Someone TP me.
ಎರಡು ಮಜೆ ಹೋಗ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿ ತರ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಬಾಂಧಿ ಯೋಕಸ್ में ಮಾಡ್ಕೋ
Much to impart.
हेडशॉट हमको लेवल 4 आर्मर है चलो वेक्टर ओवर सारी बे रेस्ट इन पीस गोले रावड़े पागा बंदे में दुआ लेक कल
Okay, I'm coming.
Mega kill. Like watching a knife cut through butter.
EMCs.
Weak, defenseless.
Oh.
butter. Heads up, Dyer's fortified their structures. Yeah, it's just more things for you to smash.
Hex him first.
उसकी यार भी आप पिस्टल से रिज्म
Fair game.
असल की पिस्टल बांधे दरे खलक मणको
Doesn't matter. Just Hex.
Middle
That's
tower
it.
is down.
So Hex doesn't have any cast animation, you know?
My turn.
ये शायद
Scared, pick up the MCM.
दा पीएमसी ते लूम करना फैक्ट्री था
Now I'm watching a kill spree.
यार वो सब पूरे घुमा जा रहा ना कल
نه خبر هیکران خلق مړی نه کنه مسله
What's
ده
wrong with him?
خپل کاروایی کوي صرف ټوکې نه دې خوند واغسته
के नाम कर
टोकेना पूरा संगे कटिंग मटिंग का सभी दे स्टार्ट से टोकेना दे बोला
Don't let them do what they're doing.
لکه په دې رښتیا د تایرايډ څخه درځم
Might want to haul
वो
ass
बलाश
into
हो
the
रहा था
تایرايډ پر باندې ګوري اوکې به
Someone chose
Oh,
Harmonic does he use toy?
Former top.
हाँ
Your middle tower might need a little attention. I don't see the benefit of letting them kill your towers,
Very
but
well.
you're the expert. Look at those structures. Woo! 4T5. You need your top tower? I'm only asking because it's being destroyed.
exactly so.
Hey, the top tower is under attack. Oh no, your top tower, former top
So,
tower. You fortified your structures.
मला देखी चीज सर ऑप्शन वे चीज
Well, I could have been invisible.
ला स्टैश मसला राजी मां मिशन
کې خرچه وکړي غټ سټیش پاله
ما سره لیول 4 स्टैश थे
یا په باکس کې داخلي
मां زم چې لکه غبې فضول سامان ته بس په لری کی سې یو بس نه بکلیک کېو
Your top barracks are taking a serious pounding. Yeah, they just deep sixed your top barracks.
آیټم باکس
This well-defended razor blade. Looking good out there. Bottom tower is no longer just a nerve. Total domination. Break time's over. They're at your middle barracks.
دا کلی
Are you
څه
letting
ورته
them do this? I mean, if this is
یا
an insurance scheme,
نن زه خپل ته له خاصه کله کله ورشم
مریضانی
او کنه
Oh, yes, that is a double kill.
Many a grave is hidden in these woods.
I return to the active world. I venture forth. Exactly so. Commendable notion.
Help, maybe? No, nobody helps me. Of course nobody helps me. You motherfuckers. Can't you just come to Roshan?
We are in accord. I go at will. My move. In pursuit. Just so.
Shadows, take us.
They shall regret this. A welcome transformation. Indeed, a prize. I proceed. Very well. We are in accord. Absolutely.
You are unstoppable.
Due to its incredible combined damage output, it is not uncommon to dominate. Swapping the Priest for a Resto Druid might put a dent in the comp's overall pressure, but gives Rogues a distinct defensive advantage in longer healing-intensive matchups. In any case, if you're wanting to know the absolute best comps in the Season 1 meta, it is without a doubt Asa Disc Priest or Asa Resto Druid. Without and healer, with the exception of Holy Priest, since they are pretty ill-suited for the bracket, but more on that later. Bracket built around healing performance are proven to be quite strong in the meta. DKs aren't the most flashy melee arms warrior bracket built around of an arm. Next up, we have a few unholy DK comps that are proven to be quite strong in the meta. DKs aren't in line with other more aggressive healers when they're. It is also quite valuable into Feral Druids, who continue to be one of the better DPS in 2v bracket thanks to their incredible rogue. Matchups, and instead of brawling toe-to-toe with other melee, it often needs to play around stunning yards by trying to avoid as much damage as possible. In a similar position are Demon Hunters, who also need to adopt a hit-and-run playstyle in some matchups. Despite some nerfs throughout the expansion, DH continues to do well in 2v2. The spec continues to have some incredible burst potential with all of its modifiers, and even though it might not be as dominant as it was in previous months, it is still an execution test for many healers. Moving along, we have a different type of Hunter, Beast Mastery and Survival. The two best healers for both of these specs are Disc Priest and Resto Druid. What a surprise, right? With the popularity of Assassination Rogues, having the additional utility of Mending Bandage is still incredibly valuable in the meta, giving a unique edge to Survival Hunter. And just like clockwork, the Hunter class as a whole continues to do pretty well in 2v2, just not the best. Joining the A tier as the only caster, we have Demonology Warlock. Similar to Unholy DK, games with Demonology Warlocks are usually a bit drawn out, making throughput-based healers an appealing option. Demo's lone success as the only caster in the A tier is a direct result of the fact that it is the only wizard with a reliable MS effect. If any other casters have a shot at consistently making it to the A tier, it seems like having healing reduction is exactly what it's going to take. But rounding out the A tier, we have our leftover rogue comps, including Sub and Outlaw. You might be surprised to see Rogue Mage absent from this list, and well, that is again because of the popularity of Disc Priest. Just like many double DPS comps, Rogue Mage does best when Resto Druids are the most dominant healer, since typically it means the meta is slower. But now with most games lasting an average of 2 minutes, even at the highest ratings, and self-healing being much weaker, the game is just too fast for double DPS to do well. And with that, we have a complete picture of the high tiers of the 2v2 meta. Clearly, Assassination is a cut above the rest. With the best pressure in the game, it is usually able to end games with relative ease at higher levels of dampening. Below that, we have a slew of A tier comps, almost all of which include other high tier melee. It should become obvious by now that 2v2 is a melee favored bracket, with the lone exception of Demo Warlock. Just like Solo Shuffle, the ability to do well in 2v2 relies heavily on the ability to apply as much pressure as possible for the longest period of time. This not only includes dealing huge damage, but also how to avoid it while flowcharting defensives. We teach both of these concepts in the class courses over at skillcap.com. There you can learn the ins and rank 1 level DPS while learning how to become a Live Lord. This is because all of our guides are made alongside some of the best players in the world. And they even upload arena commentaries where they guide you through some of the most difficult matchups and teach you rank 1 level strategies. All of this and more is why you are guaranteed to gain at least 400 rating while using the guides over at our website. So if you want to start your next PvP journey, check out the links below. With our high tiers out of the way, let's go down to the mid and low tiers where you will find mostly caster DPS. Well, with the exception of Ret Paladin. Hey, it's quite rare when Ret Paladin can manage anything higher than C tier in 2v2, but with the popularity of Assassination Rogues, Ret has gained a bit of value in the bracket with soft counters to Deathmark damage. With multiple defensive obstacles for Asa Rogues and double DPS comps, Ret Paladin Disc Priest can be a massive execution test, even after nerfs to Retribution burst earlier this season. Joining Ret Paladin will be another hybrid, Elemental Shaman. Ironically, Ellie is quite good into most of the melee cast, and it could actually be high tier if it wasn't for those meddling Assassination Rogues. But in a story as old as time, Elemental gets bullied by the entire rogue class, which is a huge problem since Assassination pop up in over 20% of 2v2 lobbies, which gives Ellie a harsh degree of inconsistency. To round out our hybrid trio, we have Shadow Priests. This is an interesting case, since last expansion, Shadow was one of the most pervasive specs in the bracket. Times have definitely changed, and Shadow has definitely lost a bit of steam, especially with double DPS being so weak. Right now, its best options are likely playing with a Resto Druid or a Fistweaver Monk for some added offensive pressure. Rounding out the DPS in our mid-tier, we have some Mage and Warlock comps. Look, we hate to keep repeating it, but 2v2 is a melee-dominated bracket. Even though both Destro and Affliction have seen pretty significant buffs in recent patches, they are still far behind our high-tier melee. Demo continues to have the spec advantage for Warlock in 2v2, once again due to its MS effect and the fact that it has more reliable lockdown for enemy melee, something which is a huge pain point for other wizards. Speaking of being behind, Enhance was looking pretty bad all expansion until it received some buffs earlier this week. Now, although we don't expect Enhancement to suddenly skyrocket in popularity, we think it is now in a much better state for 2v2. This, of course, is with the disclaimer that it is probably still one of the weakest melee in the bracket since it still lacks Immortal Strike and gets bullied by most of the high tiers. If you haven't seen your spec mentioned so far, it's somewhere in here. The high tiers are relatively well defined. Everyone seems to agree that Asa is the titan of the meta, which makes life fairly difficult for all of our mid and low tiers. Currently, it seems like the 2v2 is least friendly to Boomkins, Devastation Evokers, Fire Mages, and surprise, Enhancement Shamans, with most of these specs having very weak damage mitigation. But with everyone accounted for, we want to hear from you. Are you still playing 2v2? If so, share your experience of the meta in the comments below.
टर्की की है बिल्कुल हलीमे लगती है
अम्मी अम्मी एक बार चाय पे मिल लेना
कासिम
ये बताओ उसे चाय बनानी आती है हमारी वाली स्याह रंग वाली नहीं
aga kam PMC में चेक मड़काओ का ना 37 लेवल हो level 4 armor हो helmet हो हर से चीलू aga ما सिर्फ सर बखकारा काओ का ना aga rest in peace वाला गोले वे aga कोशिश को चिया जमा ला सुलिया खपोली دوم رفني روستا زكوي ما چې دا ولې سجيب شاندر دزي کوي
हलीमे तो हमारे रंग वाली चाय
aga damage नहीं करना aga flash damage दे दस से की बोली armor नहीं zero दे armor pen तो का पखी दी कुछ तो सलो पिंजर डज डायरेक्ट मर्की bleeding ना
सुनहरा रंग हर कप में
Yo, what's up guys? I'm going to cover all my macros for Priest in this video. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed and enjoy. Macros are really important in WoW and they help make your game a lot smoother and more fluid and just faster pace for you and helping you and your team to land kills and to survive in arena or any PvP aspect in the game, even in PvE as well. But this is a PvP channel. Now, let's go ahead and let's talk about what macros that I'm using. I'm not going to cover the targeting macros for targeting arena 1, 2, and 3 and for targeting my party 1, 2, 3. That's already covered in my healer keybind video. If you need a link, I'll pin it down in the comments right down below. You can go and snag that one. Starting off with
यार से दे उस खैर टर्का फॉर कोई मंग 700 प्लेयर्स बैन कल खो 700 कोई सब नहीं मना
I want to make sure starting off that I run a PI macro. At the moment in Dragonflight, everybody has twins, and with twins, when you wind up PI your DPS, and this way you don't have to hop off targets if there's a lot of damage going out, or if you're healing yourself, and then target an enemy. Just dish the PI out, make it smoother so you don't have to tab over to your Fred and then tab back over to whatever it is that you're doing. This way, it's a lot easier. I want to make sure that I have this, and I wind up putting it on my DPS. This is the guy that I run arena with right here, right? So that's /cast target equals your teammate power infusion. If you want to do your party 1 or party 2 for my own gameplay, if you wanted to swap that up, that's totally fine. Completely understand. But this is really smooth to have just to make your PI a lot faster, smoother, easier, quick. The next one I want to talk about is Mass Dispel. having a Master Spell at Cursor is really big, and it helps me land a ton of kills. Now, before I threw this at Cursor, I was too busy rocking out with just the standard MD. Where's my Master Spell at? Right here. And when you tap your Master Spell, you get this green aura. This is not fast. I don't want this green aura at all. Yeah, you could rock this green aura and be fine. You can play the game however you want. But I want it to be faster than slash cast at Cursor Master Spell. This way, instead of getting that green aura that pops up right here, I just go boom with an MD. Quick, fast. There's no double click action. There's no double tapping to do that. There's no green aura. I skip that part completely. I really enjoy having that. It just makes it smooth, and that's very enjoyable for me. Now, we can also run with a badge, but you can pair it up with Desperate Prayer. You can pair these two together, and when you do this, it's going to pop your Battle Master Trinket first, and then it will be doing your Desperate Prayer to increase your HP dramatically. Instead of shooting up to only a 374k or around a 350, you're going to shoot up to a 470k
دوره سريو ميتي مركو
or whatever. That around that,
يو
that
تبان
ballpark,
مركم
you
نمس
can get
كويس
Desperate Prayer, increases your HP by a percentage. And you want to make sure that you're getting the most of that. And if you do have that emblem on, that Battle Master Trinket, you can pop this right here. Mainly for a healer priest as opposed to a DPS priest, but still very important, which is right here. Slash cast emblem, slash cast Desperate Prayer. Make sure Desperate Prayer is after the emblem, because you're using that emblem to increase that HP to then get the bigger buff from the Desperate Prayer. You want to make sure that you have that as well. A focus mind control macro is great as well if you are playing with MC. You can find yourself in situations to be able to crowd fast, and this way you don't have to drop the target that you're already on right now. You can just go with a focus, boom, and knock that out. I like having a focus MC. It definitely has helped me out in situations to land kills for my team, whether I'm crossing to ensure the kill. If they're super low, maybe 10%, stopping a shaman from running to a bomb to drop a link or whichever it is. Just getting that quick mind control out and having that fast as opposed to going with a tab over into an MC. I want it to be as fluid as possible. Saving as much, even a split second, if I could save that in a game times 5, that's 5 seconds I'm saving, however many, right? I want it as fast and fluid as possible. For healing, whenever I'm healing on priest, I want to make sure that I have a focused death macro. This way, when a mage is running over at me, or even if a rogue is coming over at me, I can continue to heal my teammates, and I can land a death on my focus target that's coming over to land CC on me. That way I can avoid CC. If it's a hunter, if it's a rogue coming over to drop a blind, mage with a poly, anything that's coming over for the CC, even a monk too, you can wind up deathing an incap that comes out and breaking that off of you. You want to make sure that you have that. Now, there are other macros out there that you can run. I really enjoy having a focus death. That is a focus death macro. And I keep that right here on my shift 5 on my Naga, having a focus shadow or death. I definitely recommend this. A shadow, you're not really going to be using this because you're going to be deathing kill targets and whatnot like that. But, I mean, as a healer, this is very big to have. You want to make sure that you have this. You don't want to waste any time targeting somebody else when your teammate is dying, and that's why they're coming to set up on you. It needs to be quick, it needs to be super fast paced. Powered barrier, the same thing goes with this as with Master Spell. You don't want to have this green aura pop up. This is slowing you down. We need to make sure this is faster. I always rock this at Cursor macro for Powered Barrier, just so I dome it more fluid, faster pace. That's what you want. You don't want to be slowed down at all by any means. I run with Archangel, and I really enjoy Archangel a lot. If you've come into my stream or even in my gameplay videos, I'm rocking it. You don't have to rock it. Sometimes I swap my PvP talents up. No problem. But when I do rock it, I stick with Badge, and they both last 15 seconds, and they're both 1 minute cooldown. And I love pairing these together. I love pairing these together just to get big heals out. And so I have here cast Archangel / cast for my Badge. Pop these together. I don't even have to double. I don't have to hit Archangel and then hit my Badge. Boom. At the same time, they're paired up. 1 minute cooldown, 15 seconds both. Fatty heals that are going to be coming out. This is very helpful to me. It's just more fluid. This is just to help you get through.
بقول له perché gun نخاتو.
I have so many binds depending upon how you run it, and you can combine some of these together to make them work for you, to make it easier. It's a lot better that way. And a great segue into Shadow Priest. In Shadow Priest, if you are running Dark Ascension, you can pair that up with Badge as well. They're both 1 minute. Pair that up, make it easier and smoother to pump that damage right out. two very big macros as a Shadow Priest that you need to have. You need to have this. There's no question about it. I would never run Shadow Priest without it. And also a focus stun. You need to have this as a Shadow Priest. Don't run without it at all. The last macro that I want to talk about is just target people or whatever like that. Or I don't like that at all. Terrible. It's not for me. It's not for me. If you do it, you do well. I think that's great. That's amazing. But for me, it's doing the mouse overs and healing my teams like this. It's disgusting. Also, it is slower. It is slower at the end of the day. And when there are moments where I need to target myself, you also don't want to click off of whatever you're targeting. For example, you're targeting your teammate. We'll say this is me targeting my teammate. And then you go heal myself, and I move the mouse off, and I de-target, right? I just took that time to move my mouse and de-target. I could be in a situation where I just drop Dome down. Oh, they swapped me big. They swapped me big. I got to move my mouse now over and de-target myself. I don't like that. I have a keybind to target myself. Keybind to target myself, make it a lot easier. You can do this on actually all of your pre-specs as well, but this is the last one that I wanted to cover, though. Make sure I target myself and make it more fluid to get my heals on myself or whatever it is that I need. If I need to power or shield myself, whatever it may be. Boom. Very easy. And that is it for this video. I hope that you guys did enjoy it. I hope that some of these macros can help you out. If you're new to Priest, or maybe you're missing a few here and you're like, maybe I should try this. Try it out and let me know in the comments down below if it has helped you out. Maybe help your gameplay be a little more fluid and whatnot like that. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out my Twitch. That link is right down below. That's twitch.tv/Baker_Ice. I'm streaming 8 to 12 hours. Even though it's tough in the threes right now because Solo Shuffle has killed it, I'm still sitting there spamming away. And until the next one, guys.
यार देखो किलर आ गए
कहते हैं कुछ लोग होते ही जज्बाती हैं अब इन्हीं को देख लो इनकी पीएसएल टीम ने एन मौके पे ये इसका इजहार सारी दुनिया से करेंगे और इन जैसे कई जज्बाती इसको देखकर आगे फैलाएंगे इस पीएसएल 8 टिकटॉक लाया ऐसे सब जज्बात हो जा जज्बाती
Yo, what's up guys, Baker here. I'm going to cover my keybinds for Healing 3 vs 3 Arena. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed and enjoy. Healing in Arena can be a bit... It's definitely intimidating sometimes. You know that the game is relying upon you. If people die in the first minute or something, depending upon the situation, everybody's always going to blame the healer, right? I mean, I know what it's like. I've queued over like 20, 30,000 games in Shadowlands, and the healer's always the first to blame. And that's okay. That's okay, because they got to sit in 30 minutes. Balance and find a new team immediately. But anyways, what I like to do for my healing is I keybind. I make sure that I keybind my 1 and 2 for my teammates, my party 1 and 2, whereas keybinds, we're going to go into keybind, and you can scroll down, you'll see party member 1, party member 2. I use a Razer Naga Trinity 12-button mouse, and I put this, all the F keybinds on here are going to be all on my Naga, that's 1 through 12. I wind up just binding my teammates, my party members, 2 and 3. I do 2, 3, 2, 3. That way I can tab very fast to both of them. For myself, I do Shift F4, or Shift 4 on my Naga, 4 on my Naga. I want to make sure that I'm not using a mouse over. I don't want any mouse overs. I have at cursor macros. For example, Dome is at cursor. I have a mouse to spell one at cursor. This is to make it fluid and fast and quicker. If I'm using the aura, it's terrible. You've probably seen the guide already. But I don't want to use any mouse overs to be able to heal my teammates because I'm now worried about where my mouse is in the game. You already have enough to worry about your positioning, your teammates. You're looking out for everything, trying to do damage whenever it is that you can. You're worried about where their enemy healer is because you want to try to go and land CC, or if they're coming at you. There's a lot of things to worry about, and making sure you're not putting it in the enemy team. The last thing you want to worry about is where your mouse is. If you want to use a mouse over macro, that's totally fine. You can be successful doing whatever you want in the game. However, I just don't recommend it. I feel like it's very slow. It's much slower. Some people might say, oh, well, it's only like a second, dude. 1 second in Arena is very fast. A lot of things can go down that 1 second. Also, we need to add up each second that you take to do it. Each second that you take. And we'll say, even if we make it half a second, how many half seconds? Let's add up through the entire Arena, right? I mean, you're going to lose a lot of time doing this. If you have your teams that are, if your teammates are split up, right? If they're one's all the way to the left, one's all the way to the right, and then you're getting blasted down from maybe an Affliction, Warlock, Cleave, and it's getting overwhelming. How are you going to be able to dome somebody and then go and heal. You got to dome a certain spot and then heal your teammates at the same time. It's doable. I'm not saying it's not doable, but it's just not lucrative. It's not efficient. It's not effective. I want to make sure that I'm tabbing with 2-3, 2-3, 2-3 on my Naga or wherever it is that you have it. Doing this is just fast-paced, very quick. The game is very fast as well. You want to make sure that you have this because in situations like Walking Dead, where everybody's getting cleaved, you're going to roll your mouse over all 3 people back and forth? No shot, man. That is not even worth your time. It's not worth your time to do that, man. That's actually mentally taxing. Just thinking about it and seeing it out loud, it gets me frustrated. I'm not even in a game. That makes me very frustrated. Make sure you go ahead and drop those keybinds on it. Make sure you keybind it. Next, we're going to talk about targeting the enemy. Targeting the enemy, a lot of people use Gladius. I use Gladius or S-Arena, whatever. I see some people, they will move their mouse over to actually tap onto the Gladius. You don't want to do this. I did this in my first season. Yeah, you can go and you can get Glad and you can climb at whatever rating, but it's not fluid. You want to make sure that everything is as fluid as possible. And if you're going to take your mouse over and tag it, what if you're in a situation where it's a very clutch situation? You got to wrap your teammate and you got to go and click this guy now and throw mind games out. You need to be smooth. It needs to be fast paced. Go into here, into your options, and we're going to go into key bindings, and you can go right down here to target arena enemy. This isn't bound for me. I have this actually as we have this actually macroed out, right? We have the macros here for targeting arena, and we keep this on the side here with the action bars. And the reason that I do this is because it depends on the add-on that you use, but my S-Arena has been messed up and my Gladius has been messed up. I'm using Gladius Shadowlands and it organizes them in reverse and my Gladius in a certain way. And so I actually just move these around right here. But I have Shift 1, Shift 2, and Shift 3 on my Naga. Those are my buttons right there to target. Very fast pace, very, very quick. I'm already tabbing 2-3 to target my teammates. All I do is hit that Shift, boom. My mouse is already there, right? Or my thumb's already there. I just shift it and now I can tab really fast, right? And that way I can get a quick little death. Shadow or death, boom, pop somebody out. Or I can, pop a wrap on my teammate, right? And then Shift 1, Shift 2, or Shift 3 on my Naga, and then throw out a mind games or whatever it is that I need to do. It's faster paced. Don't drag over to your Gladius and click. You're losing precious time. It might not seem like a lot of time, but in a time is everything with how fast paced the game is. And even if the game was still a little bit slower, you want to make sure that you're fluid. You want to be as fast as possible, because if you're not going to be the fast one, that enemy's going to be the fast one. And you're going to sit there, you're going to lose. You're going to be like, damn, why am I losing? It's because you're going over and you're clicking this. We're going to stop clicking that today. Let's talk about something that is very important, is overlooked. I see a lot of people whenever they're coming into either my stream or even coming to the YouTube channel, or even when I'm showing on other people's streams, they're always asking for their key binds. Why do they bind this way? And a lot of people probably will copy some of those players, rank 1 players or whatever, and then they're going to throw these key binds into their own keys and whatnot, thinking that, okay, I'm going to get the same results, or I want to at least, you feel like you might be in the situation to get those same results. And the reality of it is there's a reason why you want to actually put certain keys in certain spots, at least for me. For example, if you look on my action bars here, I have light. life-saving abilities on my target my team. Time that I target somebody, when I see the dam coming out or I need to pop it, right? You probably have this on your bars, but are you using it correctly? I'm going to go through and break it all down for you in this video. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and enjoy. An insane ability on Priest, which I don't think a lot of people are utilizing enough of, and that is Mind Control. MC is just a spammable CC that we can chuck out on everybody. And there's two ways that you can go and throw out a Mind Control. Let's go through the first one. The first way that you can go and use a Mind Control going to be to peel for your team. We got gameplay right here. This DK is about to be going crazy. He's on steroids, right? This guy's going in. He's pumping all of his modifiers. I'm a little bit low on mana, and I know that to heal through this A-bomb limb is just going to me completely, right? Lichborn is on cooldown. He has 23 seconds left on his Lichborn, and I want to go ahead and peel for this, right? Yeah, granted, if you play with a mage, your mage can sheep or whatever, but sometimes there's situations where maybe he's having... The game's been going on for a little bit of time, and it's looking like it's going to be the end when you see a second A-bomb limb coming up. So we go through, and we get a quick MC on him, right? Quick little MC right here, and we walk him in. We walk him out of line of sight from his priest, so his priest can't get a quick dispel out. Being able to completely walk him out for this duration of A-bomb limb, and walking him away from our mage, so our mage can kite him out for these cooldowns. Mind Control doesn't even cost that much mana. Mind Control is only 5,000 mana. 5,000 mana, and we can go and MC someone who's trying to kill our teammates who's popping cooldowns, and we can negate all that damage. Think about the mana that you're saving, as well as your teammates' life, but think about the mana as well. You don't have to heal through that entire cooldown. Instead, you just get a quick MC, 5k mana, walk him away. You're going to save thousands of mana, right? Tens of thousands of mana instead of having to heal through that, right? So we walk him all the way away, and then we're pulling back, right? Giving our mage enough distance, a big gap, so he can cruise away. And that's the entire cooldown from the DK. Just prevented all that damage. You can use MC to mitigate a ton of damage that's coming out onto your team. And it's definitely worth to be able to cast this. I would make sure that I MC as much as possible to mitigate damage whenever I can do that. Obviously, my team is getting fucking annihilated, and I can't do that. But in situations where you see the cooldowns coming out and he doesn't have a way out, go ahead and just cut that MC. And even if he did have Lichborn up, I'll MC, stop him for a quick second, right? And then he'll pop Lichborn, and then the next time I can try to get a full MC after that initial cooldown is popped and whatnot like that. But I try to make sure that I throw those out early game to get those cooldowns, so when the game gets dragged out in these situations, we can then go through and get an MC. A great way to peel for your teammates. You could do this even on the off target as well. If they were nuking DK, you want to go and, or whatever it is, it doesn't even matter, it doesn't have to be a DK, but whatever it is, if you want to go and MC the off target, you can definitely do that. Now, another way to use MC is to go and to CC a healer down. CCing a healer down with a Mind Control is really big, and this can definitely be a clutch up for games. As a Disc Priest, we don't have the chastise to do a stun and then into a fear. We have to try to chain it ourselves with a fear into an MC, or if anybody can get off. In this situation, though, my teammate, we're not in comps with this Shadow Priest, but he winds up throwing out CC on top of it, right? He didn't know that I was going to go and fear into an MC. I'll show another example after this one, though. But so I walk over here. I get the fear on him, right? He wasn't really expecting the fear, so he couldn't Trem City. He couldn't cover prior. So we get a fear off, right? Grounding's down. We're waiting, right? We're holding out. And then right here, we're starting to cast an MC, yeah? Now here it comes, though. I see he gets stunned, so we immediately cancel it. We're canceling the MC instantly because we want to make sure that we chain this, right? We're not in comms with this guy, but we were ready to Mind Control him down to get that extra walkout. And then we go over here, right? Get a little bit of lineage over here. We're pulling up to the pillar. We want to be ready just in case if a situation pops off, right? We want to make sure that this priest can't get over to us or whatever. And then we go and we land an MC right here. He silences though, but that's the whole point, is essentially going to try to chain up this CC just to lock him out even longer. Now I have another example that we can show for doing this where the other person doesn't go and chain CC up on that one, right? And so there's this other example right here. We're in the situation, I believe it's a little bit further ahead. Where is it? Right here. So we go and we get the MC on this druid right here. We go and we snag an MC on him, right? This guy's this game is like really dragged out. This is a really dragged out game. And we need to get CC out. We're facing Windwalker, Monk, Demon Hunter. We get an MC on the Druid. We walk him away a little bit, right? They're going to wind up, this MC will wind up falling, right? He falls off right here. And right as he's going to leap back over, we know that he wants to get back into the line of his team. He makes a grave mistake where he doesn't go to the opposite side of the pillar. Fine, no problem. People make mistakes in Arena all the time. And when they do, we capitalize on it. That's what Arena is. Anytime someone makes a mistake, we're going to capitalize on it. And I see that he's coming back this way, right? He's coming back this way. We start getting another MC out. Look at the Demon Hunter's HP going the smallest MC in the game you can get. You're still disrupting. You are disrupting these players from being able to get heals out. We go and we snag an MC, boom. And even though he doesn't have a whole lot of mana, I mean, Druids, Kimosabi could drop an NS, a Nature Swiftness, and pop up some. Just chain that up, get another CC, and to be able to peel these healers, take them out of the game so your team can go and land a kill is very big for your team. When it comes to mind control, I make sure that I utilize MC in these two situations as much as possible for that I can. I don't want to prioritize this though if my teammate's just legitimately dead. I don't want to just go and, oh, let me get an MC while my teammate's at 10% HP or 20%. If I can see the situation, it definitely takes a little bit of time and practice. And also, it's a good thing to cast out too, because if they kick you on MC, who cares? I can still heal. And that's a great way to bait out kicks as well when you are casting mind control. Even if you're stuck in a little melee range, you start MCing, everybody kicks it. I mean, there are times even with a TSD team, they're jumping Collatus on top of you. If you have good shields out, you have some form of damage mitigation like your dome, or you're gonna chain stuff out. You start casting an MC on somebody, even though you're like, oh man, it's not even. It doesn't even matter if it lands or not. They'll waste a kick. People are like that. They will be ready to kick MC because they understand that it is a CC ability. They just have to kick it, right? They want to go through and kick it. They don't want to have their teammates get CC for free, right? During burst goes or anything of that nature. And that's a free kick, and then that way you can start healing. Definitely a lot of ways to utilize mind control. And if you haven't already, make sure that you definitely start casting that out. Make sure you are pushing that button as much as possible to block people out of it. A few side notes with mind control. You want to make sure that you're utilizing this as much as possible on Blade's Edge. On Blade's Edge, you can just MC melee off if you're facing a turbo team, if you're facing a hero cleave. Just MC one of the melee and just walk them off to the side. Just walk them off super quick. That way they have to go and kite all the way back around. It's just going to alleviate the pressure and save your mana, and you're mitigating a lot of damage by doing that and a lot of their pressure. You can do this as well on Dalaran Arena, as you can MC them off and they got to walk all the way around or whichever. But it's really effective on Blade's Edge completely. MC, you can also get rid of Kyrian Spear from your teammates. If your teammate is getting Warrior Speared, then if you land an MC on the Warrior, they are able to walk away from that burst window. They can walk away. They're not getting tugged back and forth. I try to look for the Warrior's cooldowns. I want to see when Spear's coming up. I'll try to bait a Reflect if I can juke, or if I can fake cast Mind Games into them. They'll pop Reflect. A lot of Warriors, they just follow that. You can go and wind up snagging Reflect off, and then once you have the Reflect off, you can cast that MC when they do drop the Spear down. And just be ready for it. Make sure you have your cooldown tracker and you're looking at that Kyrian Spear. MC the Warrior, and let your team just walk away from that situation. When it comes to MC, if your teammate gets mind control, whether you are Shadow, Holy, or Disc, whichever, you can just go and purge them. And if you purge your teammate, you'll actually dispel the mind control that's on them, as long as you hit Dispel Magic. Make sure that you have this. I mean, all priests are going to have this talent anyways, but in case for some reason somebody that's watching doesn't have that, just go and land a quick Dispel Magic on your teammate who is MC'd, and you'll just purge them. You don't have to worry about getting a shear or going for, or, sorry, not a shear, but you don't have to worry about getting like a kick on them or going over and fearing them, right? You don't have to worry about that, or a silence, I mean. You don't have to worry about that. You can just go and just Dispel Magic them. Make sure to be on the lookout for these hybrid classes that can heal. You want to make sure that you're mind controlling them to also lock them out so they can't heal their teammates who are the kill targets. For example, if you're facing a team like Shadowplay, which is very popular at the moment, you can get an MC onto the Shadow Priest if you're killing the Warlock, or if you're swapping over to the Druid. You can get an MC on them, and that will negate them from being able to life swap. Huge cooldown. If they don't have Will or they don't have Trinket, you hold them down. They can't. They're now MC'd, and then your team can just land a kill, boom, 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 and crush them down. These hybrid classes, you want to make sure that you're just stopping them as much as possible. That's if you're into an Elemental Shaman as well. That's a popular one. Ret Paladin, if you're swapping, you stop a Ret from healing, but I find it really big with the Shadow Priest at the moment. The Shadow Priest is very popular. And so being able to MC them and negate that life swap, that's a 5-minute cooldown that we just cancel out with a quick mic. That is it for this video. I hope that you guys did enjoy. And if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you are subscribed. Also check out my Twitch. That link is right down below. That's twitch.tv/Baker_Ace. I'm streaming like 8 to 10 hours a day of Dragonflight content, going in, spamming threes, queuing on all my different priests that I have. And until the next one, guys, peace.
Make the leap. Bring what you do online with GoDaddy. Whatever your thing is, we've got the right domain for you. Search the largest selection of domains. See what you find and get yours before it's gone. Get your domain today at GoDaddy.com.
Yo, what up guys, Baker here. Today I'm going to go through my talents in 10.0.5 and everything that I've wound up swapping within this patch. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and enjoy. Discipline Priest, there's a lot of people coming out and playing Discipline Priest. I've made some changes from prior. The first thing that I want to do is, let me just go and close my camera. I'll show all my talents. I'm going to have a link down below as well for everybody. So if you do want to just go copy and paste it and throw it into your game, this is my standard build that I'm running. I'm going to go through the changes that I have. I don't run with Palm. I don't take Blessed Recovery. Sometimes I can go with Blessed Recovery depending on the comp that I'm facing. If I'm facing a rogue that's like tunneling me and whatnot. For example, like an LE rogue, or if it's a rogue melee and they just want to tunnel me the entire game. Or even if I'm facing a TSG and if they're tunneling me a lot, I can swap into Blessed Recovery. But for the most part, I don't. I go with 2 out of 2 for Crystalline Reflection. I do like this a bit. It has a nice, I get a little more heals when I throw this out, right? It does a nice little 7k, 10k, or whatever in Arena. I think a little bit more too, but nothing crazy. But it does help with my healing when I'm throwing out someone super low. You can like nice little 10k, and then Radiance on it. And it can also lead to games where sometimes that might be a little extra mana that's taken from the healer. Maybe I reflect 500,000 damage, or sometimes 350k, 400,000 damage. That's a decent amount of damage, and that can also help teams or whatnot like that, but also kill them. I do. Bulwark is interesting because I'll use this sometimes. I do like running with my Move with Grace, having a reduced cooldown on Faith. But I've been facing some comps where they try to swap me off of my life swap or things like that. And when I do face those teams, I do go and throw Bulwark on. You don't have to run Bulwark every single game. But if you feel like you're getting swapped to, or if you're getting tunneled, I would definitely run with Bulwark. If you're not running with Bulwark, I really enjoy having the Leap of Faith on a 30-second reduced cooldown. That's just for me. And I'm sticking with Mind Control too. Mind Control is still Bay. This is what I'm running still for my priest side right here. This is what, dependent upon if I feel like I'm taking a ton of damage and whatnot like that. But this is, from Thirst Comes Light, is actually kind of nice because you're getting that percentage increase by keeping your Purge of the Wicked out, which you're going to be keeping that out as much as possible. And you're just increasing Flash Heal, which has already been buffed by a decent amount, so it's just going to be even stronger for a heal. But you can do either of these. There's no one way to do. I'll sometimes swap out my Mass Dispel if I'm not facing a team that has Bubble or a block or even Roots, for example. It's nice to be able to hit my Dispel out. Some people say, oh, well, running quick MD is not even worth it. If you're playing with melee and you're facing Druid, you have Mass Entanglement or anything of that nature, or a Frost Mage, sometimes you'll throw your Dispel out, right? You'll Dispel a Poly, he'll Frost Nova both your teammates. You get quick MD, boom, keep that uptime rolling. There's definitely ways to be able to utilize your Mass Dispel. I just like running, I keep it, but depending upon what I'm facing, I will swap that up. And when I do swap it up, I mean, you could even go with like a double death here. You could do double death. If you do like Feather, go with Feather, whichever, right? It doesn't even matter, but that's these are the talents that I'm running for Priest at the moment. The main thing you definitely want to keep is Void Shift, though. Don't ever swap Void Shift up at all. Don't ever do that. Moving on to the Discipline tree. Now we have, this is an obvious choice. Pain Transformation now heals 25%, but whoop-de-doo, give me the double sup. I definitely want double sup, and you're spamming shields a lot. You'll be able to see that sup wind up coming back because you have more throughput. You're going to be able to last longer in these games as well. And having 2 is great. I pop my Pain sup off actually rather quick in the game, just so I can start trying to get that extra sup that's going to be coming back right from me spamming my shields. I don't want to hold on too long to it. But I go with Protector of the Frail, and we're going to be taking Dark Indulgence. So Mind Blast gains an additional charge, and its mana cost is reduced by 40%. This is very big to be able to pump out damage. This is very big to pump out damage. And a big change that I'm running is Expiation. I ran this back in the pre-patch, as I recall, and I wound up swapping off of it, though. But I'm having a lot more use from it. I feel like now I'm able to keep my teammates up a little bit more, and I can start doing dam in these pockets. There are people that want to run a big dam build, and that's totally fine to do. You can go into schisms. You want to do Shadow Covenant, that's cool too. If you want Abyssal Rev, I think that's super dope. But for my threes games, this is mainly specifically for threes. I don't really see the use in using Shadow Covenant in a threes action, and going into harsh discipline, which I know a lot of people are enjoying because they're able to pump. They feel like they can pump a little bit more dam and whatnot like that, and get that big burst. But when you're queuing high MMR in threes, being able to get that off is going to be tough. You're going to be stuck in these globals, and if you're not stuck in globals, you're stuck in CC. And you want to make sure you're watching out for that. So I go with Expiation, so that way I'm still pumping a decent amount of dam. This increases the damage of Mind Blast and Shadow Word Death by 20%. Mind Blast and Shadow Word Death consume 6 seconds of Shadow Word Pain or Purge of the Wicked, instantly dealing that damage. We're always going to keep this dot up, and when there's first pocket goes, I'll do Mind Blast, Death, or you can even just throw a Death real quick if they're super low. Look for those little moments that you can have in a game to be able to pump dam. Don't try to force damage. I know that Disc, a lot of people are doing a lot of dam, and so they're going to tell you, you want to make sure you're pumping, you want to pump. You want to keep your teammates alive at the end of the day. If your teammate dies, you failed your job as a healer, right? I make sure that I use this where my Mind Blast goes in pockets. When I see the stun go, or when we have a setup, that's when I'm doing my damage. That's when we can get the uptime and we can push a team over. Trying to do it when they're at full HP or when we're not even having a certain go, it's not even worth it, right? But definitely run with Expiation. This has been really good and solid. I'm sure they're going to go through and nerf this at some point. I still have Contrition. I mean, you can take Contrition off if you want and go into Abyssal. You can do it that way too. That's totally fine, whichever. I mean, it's actually, I think you'll probably get maybe a little bit more healing from that. But in some games that I've been having, it's been really tough to even pump out damage because it's been very fast-paced, and I don't have a lot of those moments. So I've been just sticking with Contrition, but you can swap these. It doesn't even matter, right? Just because you have Abyssal and not Contrition, it's not going to be the ultimate game changer for you. Moving on to my PvP talents I've been running, I play melee cleaves. I've been enjoying melee cleaves quite a bit, and I've been doing some caster too, but having Dark Arc has been a ton of fun. I've been rocking Dark Arc. I moved away from Archangel. I feel like our throughput is pretty good at the moment, and I don't think there's any need for me to go Archangel. If I do play Archangel, there are certain comps that I do, and one of them is definitely Thug.